Hey Andrew, it's William. Welcome to Bentley House. Come on in for a tour.
Where are we first?
We don't disclose our specific location because we like to keep it private for our clients who come here, because one of the great things about this place is it's very private and secure for artists to be here without being bothered by what I've heard is called fan engagement.
Well, this place is very unconventional and very comfortable.
It's definitely a wow scene when you come around that corner, because people aren't expecting this much space as it is, with conventional studios in New York City where you don't really have a lot of room. And as we'll discuss going forward, it really helps the working process to have all this space, because you really feel like you're away from it all and kind of cocooned in this very creative spot.
Yeah, this is cool. So there's a grand piano right when you walk in. We've got, I don't know, what is that, a reverse flying V?
It's a reverse flying V, yeah. The owner, Bentley Meeker, has a collection of these guitars and has made this really cool sort of art display of the reverse Vs. He's in the lighting business, so all the lighting is actually really beautiful here, as you'll notice as we walk through. And the grand piano is a family piece. He'll tell you more about it later, but as proven by some recordings we've done, it's got an incredible sound.
Absolutely. All mic'd up, by the way. So
all mic'd up, ready to go.
And then a big dining room.
If you're gonna have a break and have a meal, this is like the perfect spot. You can fit everybody, gourmet kitchen, so folks can come in and cook for us if need be.
In the corner here, there's TubeTech APIs, interfaces. There's a rig in the dining room.
So we have two of these. We call them Studio C and D or R2D2 for fun. And it's an amazingly well-built rack that has both the Galaxy and the Apollos, depending on what you like to work on. It has API mic pre's that match our console downstairs, and it has Rupert and E Design mic pre's that match our console upstairs. So this can float anywhere in the building and also be connected by Dante to either Studio A downstairs or Studio B on the third floor. Anywhere you turn here, there's a way to record.
That is so cool. All right, and we got speakers mounted.
A great playback system that we set up to really be banging loud, very large subwoofers under the stairs. So it's a great place for out of the control room and a bit of a wilder atmosphere playback, and also comes in handy for party music. So it sounds amazing. Let's go downstairs to Studio A.
All right. Wow. Yeah, what's the story down here?
So, as you can see, an incredible collection of instruments, keyboards, guitars, drums, just kind of everything you need. And we're set up in our configuration for the session we just did. What's amazing about it is, again, the theme is sort of having everything you need when you're inspired. So if you need to do something with a guitar, there's 40 guitars to choose from. A bunch of basses, a bunch of keyboards, a bunch of great vintage keyboards that have all kinds of amazing sound. And this rack back over here, which is all the keyboard modules that are bust down to all these mixers here. So you can really create some amazing stuff with this setup.
Okay, so controller, and you go MIDI, and then this filters through all of these
Yep.
old synth mods,
And then as you see, they're all coming up here on the mixer. We should get this going. There you go.
oh my God, I would lose so many hours.
Yeah, I think it's quite an intricate setup and beautifully, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
I was like, where's the line outs? And there they are.
There they are. Let's walk back here and I'll show you the some of the more guitars and drums and things back here in this storage area.
All right.
So first off, if there weren't enough guitars out in the live room, we've got a few extra.
Wow.
I mean, look at this beautiful Epiphone Classic, lots of Gibson, lots of Fender, some basses, even a Rickenbacker 12 string, ready to roll.
Whoa.
And a Rick 6 too as well.
So we got Fenders, we got PRSs too. I was just gonna say, I'm a big Fender fanboy.
Yeah, man,
Got some nice options here.
beautiful stuff.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Strats.
And then as you spin around, you see our 4+ drum kits fitting into every kind of sonic need. And then some nice vintage mics.
Well, this is cool. I mean, just having old vintage Altex. Oh yeah, crazy.
Like the trigger.
It's like a intercom
Yeah, right.
mic. And then this is the mic locker that we need in my studio. Large diaphragms, got some pencils, some extra ribbons down below, 2 C800s. Right on. This is cozy and overkill, but
Yeah. This is our George Osberger designed control room, and with the API 2448, which is a great console. You'll notice across the top, we've inserted a lot of different flavors of mic pre's up there, so it gives you a good vibe. As you can see by the video screen, we have video contact with everywhere else in the house. So we can put people anywhere we need to and still be able to communicate. And then a beautiful rack of outboard gear, pretty much everything you could think of, with a lot of candy in there to mess with.
a lot of classics.
Yep, a lot of classics. Between Studio A and Studio B, we have Dante Lounge run everywhere. So just like yesterday, we did the piano on the main floor.
Yeah.
While the drums and bass were down here. That was all Thailand and video contact, so we could communicate. Everybody could give signals for different sections of the track or whatever they needed to do. And then, you know, as you'll see as we move upstairs, there's connections in bedrooms and hallways and pretty much everywhere, which makes the place super unique and interesting. And this actually used to be a wine cellar.
Oh,
so
really?
As you see all the ends of the wine crates up on the wall there, that
is awesome.
Our elevator, which goes all the way up to the 3rd floor, and which helps us move gear.
Yes.
And I'm a little afraid of it. I always just let Henry drive it. Well, this building has interesting history. It was I think it was a dress factory to start off. It became a storage facility for a grocery store chain, so there were giant refrigerators on all the floors. I'm not sure, it had some other iterations before it became Bentley's House, which is why we call it Bentley House, because it used to be Bentley's House.
Yeah.
It's a 4-story building if you count the basement. So.
Wow.
This is the 2nd floor, where we have more recording spaces and the accommodations. So there are 4 bedrooms, and in each bedroom there is a sort of laptop setup with an Apollo, a MIDI controller, an SM7. So again, anytime day or night that you have an idea, you can start working on something. Here's our second R2-D2, set up exactly to match the other one. And again, this can be used to have a standalone session here, or use mic pre's to send stuff via Dante down and up to the other studios, depending on where you want to hit. And this is one of the bedrooms where you are, Andrew, taking advantage of the accommodations.
Junior master suite.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta say, this room was very comfortable and very comforting to be able to sit down and get a little bit of work done and not feel like I'm at work. I notice each one of these bedrooms also has a rack with an interface, a set of speakers, and a table.
Yeah, again, so that you have this 24/7 ability to work on whatever pops into your head. We did an album here where we would be working on one thing downstairs and someone else would be up here in the bedroom working on some other things. Then we just pop the tracks down and add them to to what we were working on. So we were able to utilize what everybody was doing and actually save time by having different workstations where people could be working on different things. And as you can see by the giant screen here, we also have video communication again. So there has been a session where a horn section was done up here to take advantage of the acoustics of this space. Another wow moment.
Yeah, wow. I mean, this is dream level stuff here.
It really is.
It's like a master suite slash master studio in the same room with a bathtub.
Yes, as it's been called, the most badass bedroom studio ever. Rupert Neve Designs 5088, some magical gear over here. So this can be set up as a studio, so you know, drums, bass, whatever. So people who like to work in a more open, lofty environment, which is becoming popular, where you're recording and have the board in the same space. This is perfect for that sort of creation. I was thinking about trying to make the bathtub into the world's smallest echo chamber, but we haven't done that yet. So we've been using the garage and the stairs instead. There's a working fireplace. There's some other gear, another workstation set up back there that has some more DJ-oriented stuff. There's a playback system very similar to the one downstairs with the Macintosh and everything else in the subs for having another listening environment.
I like this area. What's this area called?
It's kind of a vibe hangout pit, I suppose.
The floor, the pit, yeah. And then back here, it is more studios.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm impressed just by like the tables, like the quality of stuff.
Beautiful furniture.
So we've got full suite, bed, fireplace. I also just noticed the TV hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, exactly.
I do dig this custom thing that they made for the S1s, this little tray. The art and the design just really does emote like a curiousness and a creativity, and it's like you get to discover something any direction you look in.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow.
One of the fun ideas in this space is that the 5088 and all the outboard gear are on wheels. So if you so desire to pull it down that way or move it somewhere else, you can do that. Most of us don't think of recording consoles as being portable things, but in this situation, it's specifically built to be that way.
What's the sustain pedal? Is that the talkback pedal?
Yeah, it's a talk. That's for
literally,
talkback,
you got the foot switch talkback.
Yeah.
Floating.
Exactly. Barefoots are on wheels, so they can roll with you.
Oh my gosh.
So everything is ready to move.
That's crazy. The cable planning for the snake and power.
Yeah, look at it. The snake and everything is probably 40, 50
so you got
feet
plenty
of snake.
Plenty of slack to move the whole studio over there. I can see the outboard also has the same slack.
Exactly. And then above this, it's raining, but above this there is a roof deck.
Wow.
So a place for some relaxation, have meals up there in the good weather. It is a creative haven where when you come in, you can just focus on what you want to make and what you want to create, and you don't really have to go out for anything.
Okay, so there's some themes I noticed also. Galaxy 32, you've got 2 Galaxy 64s down in the basement, but you also have Apollos, I imagine, if someone is just used to that system.
Yeah, especially on the portable rigs, we want to have both, so depending on what system you're used to. And then in the bedrooms, it's all Apollos.
And then this is all connected.
All connected.
So you can send stuff any which way.
So really, if you were working on, let's say, an album project, you could be cutting downstairs, you could be mixing up here, you could be doing like 5 different, you could be writing on the second floor. It could become a real creative factory with all these different options on how you do things. Henry is basically studio manager. He is chief engineer, I think. He's been here from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So he helped wire all this stuff, do a lot of stuff. So he really knows where the bodies are buried and knows how to run all the systems. And he built those R2-D2 racks, and he's put all this stuff together that you're seeing here.
Oh
so he's done an incredible job.
Henry.
Yes.
You're the man, you're the brains behind this place. Tell me a little bit about how all of this works.
Sure. Well, so you've seen the studio downstairs, you've seen the studio upstairs, and now you've seen all of our sort of satellite hub studios. And we had this awesome idea to put them in place, but Bentley had the idea to connect them all, and we figured out a way to do that using Dante. We set up a whole network that connects all of the studios. You plug in on every floor, and then you can sort of send audio from different places. Everything is super modular. The coolest story I've had is we've done big jazz sessions, sort of, where we'll have a rhythm section downstairs. Someone will be playing the grand piano on the first floor, and we've put horns around this couch here, and they'll all be looking at this this video setup, so they can all see the rest of the band right here. And
right.
So we'll have some awesome some room mics and some close mics, and they're seeing the whole band, and they're playing at the same time. Everything's live because jazz people love to play live.
Yeah.
And and we'll use our R2D2 setups to send audio down. We'll have an engineer up here doing levels, and we've built this so that either if you want to record a whole band, we've got a bunch of awesome API and Rupert Neve preamps in there. But also if you're just doing a single vocal, we got the classic BAE 1073 TubeTech CL1B vocal chain. So if you're just doing an engineer and you got your vocalist right next to you, you can do that as well. We've packed a lot into this tiny little rack.
Yeah, and it's on wheels.
And it's on wheels. We can roll it right up to your bedroom if you want.
Which is, first off, silly and incredible.
Yeah, it's both ridiculous and very fun. We want to work the way that the artist wants to work,
Yep.
And if a client wants to work in their bedroom or, in the bathtub upstairs, we're ready. We're ready for it. Yeah, so basically we have one central Ethernet switch on the main floor downstairs.
Okay.
And then we've run, I think it's 7,500 or 8,000 feet of Cat 8 cable. And this is not Cat 6, this is Cat 8, which is completely overkill for at least the gear in 2024.
Yeah.
Not a lot of gear can go up to Cat 8 standards. It's 40 gigs a second.
Wow.
So we're ready for 20 years in advance.
That's amazing.
But yeah, and so basically we have, on every floor we have a rack like this. You'll just plug into the Dante port, and then you'll plug the other side into the switch that we have in each of the R2D2s and in the studios downstairs and upstairs. And then we have our whole Dante matrix. You can choose which channels to send where. And everything's super modularly connected. I just created a new word there. Putting console on wheels, that was the truly one of the craziest things where Bentley had this idea. He was like, what if we put it on wheels? What if we, once we got this however many pound console up to the third floor using the freight elevator, then what if someone wants to move it? It's such a big room, a lot of flat space to move stuff. It's my responsibility to figure out how to make it work. So we, I drew up some plans of sort of a cart that it fits onto, and you can honestly, and I wouldn't recommend it. Usually it's good to have two people, but you can move it with one person.
Wow.
Which is pretty crazy. I think there's a lot of out of the box thinking here, where some people, including me, I didn't see the vision in the beginning. And then when we got it on wheels, we rolled it, across the floor, and we were like, wow, this is actually insane.
Yeah.
Just to be able to work however, way you want.
Bentley had the dream, right? The vision.
Bentley's the dreamer. He's the ideas guy, and I'm just the guy that has to figure out how to make it work. So
you're calling it a visionary move, huh?
I mean, you had the vision, and I have never seen anything like this. And I've been to one or two studios.
There's a very good chance that I could have been completely out of my mind. At which point I don't think it's very visionary at all. But the jury's still out. All kidding around aside, I think artists are charged with, creating art that changes the world. And I feel like there aren't enough places for them to do it that are conducive to creating magic.
Amen.
And that was an important thing for me. It was to be able to We've done enough work with people live over the years and understanding what artists' needs are. But what we hadn't done is really spent a lot of time in the recording space. And so we felt like what we were doing live, we could bring into the recording space and make it kind of magical for people. And we had the place to do it. So that's kind of what happened here. My feeling is that artists need what they need, and each artist has a different set of needs. And we wanted to be able to build a place to cast a wide enough net to be able to accommodate those needs, and if we didn't already have them in-house, to have a wide enough array of resources to be able to pull them in immediately.
Yeah.
And I think that that's conducive to flow. That's conducive to an artist feeling safe in a space. It's conducive to things moving. It's conducive to art happening that wouldn't otherwise happen. And, the quicker we can get a microphone in front of somebody, the quicker the idea can get out before it metastasizes into a different idea. And I think that's an important part of the art process.
At the highest quality fidelity.
At the highest quality fidelity.
And there's also...
But that's a given,
Yeah.
Like having it sound incredible was kind of like baseline for us. If we didn't think we had the space that the rooms didn't sound good, if we didn't think that we could get the equipment to make it sound good, we would have aborted mission right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Beyond that, how can we make people feel comfortable, feel safe, feel like their artistic process, whatever that artistic process is honored? And then how do we get the engineers feeling comfortable enough to work here? How do we give them the resources? How do we give them 3 ways to accomplish something instead of 1?
Yep.
Well, New York City's its own thing, man. You either love it or you don't love it, but they're carrying me off this island in a box. I think that having the amenity base of New York City at your fingertips, first of all, A, it's why I'm here.
Yeah.
B, I think it really kind of engenders its own level of creativity. It's like you never know where you're going to get inspired in this place, you know what I mean? And having a parking garage that allows people to be able to move in and out of the property with complete, utter impunity, I think is a big important thing, because at the end of the day, if you're not selling security, if you're not selling safety, if you're not selling comfort, if you're not selling belief in that everything's going to be okay, for a certain level of artists, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You can leave here, you can be completely, utterly anonymous on your way out, you can be anonymous on your way in. Nobody ever needs to know anybody was ever here.
Yeah.
The art in this place, there are 2 criteria that govern all of the art in this place. The first is that I have to like the way that it looks. Yeah. Okay, I don't really give a shit if it's a Rembrandt or if it's the guy who paints on the corner. You know what I mean? It's like, I gotta like the way that it looks. The second thing is that it needs to have a story. So every piece of art in here, if you look at it, looks like it's one thing. When you learn about it, has a completely different story behind it than you might think looking at it. That layer of complexity and depth, I believe it's in the stories that the magic lies for all artists and all art.
Yeah.
So if I can create a world of art where there is a story behind everything, how awesome is it for you to be able to find the story behind your art?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or find the art with your story.
Right.
Things have a way of unfolding here, and the reason why is because of those 2 criteria.
Thanks for showing me around.
Oh, of course. I'm so glad you're here. This has been
Yeah.
amazing. We've had a great time.
My first New York City
That's
experience
right. First
ever.
experience in New York.
Courtesy
We like
of
that.
you guys.
We like that.
All right, well, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. I'll put links to this place and everything down below. Go check it out.